So welcome once more um to our Django tutorial series. So what we want to do now is to link. So we don't want to we don't want to have to be typing slash profile, you know, and things like that. So we don't want to have to be typing slash profile on the URL every time. We want our HTML or our front end to be more interactive, right? So in order to do that, you see this link, we want to be able to link them together so that they can be more interactive, right? And so in order for us to do that, I want to bring our attention to our urls.py in our application, our home application folder. You see this url.py, you see this name. This name that we wrote here is what we're actually going to use to connect them. If you I don't know how much you guys know on HTML, but let's say in HTML I wanted to link let's just say google.com. I'll just write google.com in such a way that anytime I click on that home, this home here, it will take me to google.com. That's how you link, right? And if let's say I want to go to actually a particular folder, let's say my profile, I will have to give I will have to put a directory here, like a direction here, that please go to my profile. So it will be profile.html, but I don't think this will work because this is not just this is not just HTML, is inclusive of Django. So it's HTML inside Django, so it will not go there. The reason is because it's not registered it's not registered um, as just HTML alone. So the HTML is found inside Django, the Django framework. So in order for me to say, okay, anytime you click on home, go to home. Anytime you click on profile, go to profile. There's a method we are going to call is the same single quotation with percentage, and you put URL. It's a method URL. Okay, so you can see if I even type, because I already have a Django template installed in my extension, which is here. I have so if I come here and click Django, I already have the template tag installed, and so it automatically gives me it has certain keywords that once I type, it will just help me auto complete. So which is one of the good things with text editors. So now inside this URL, I'm going to put a single quotation. Mind you, in Python, this is a Python thing. If you have a double quotation, if you want to do anything again with a quotation, it has to be single. Now you see this inside this single quotation, it is this name I gave to my path. You understand? That's the name I'm going to use. So here I'm going to use where is it? I'm going to use home. Is it home I use or index? Now if I come back here and change it to home or home dash page or underscore page, let's just say that in my nav bar, I'm going to come here and say home underscore page. Does that make sense? So for my profile, I also want that I want to call what is in my path here. What did I name? Profile. I can say my profile, my underscore profile. The point is, any name you put here is the same name you are going to call here. That is why we actually use it. It's important that we use that name. So my underscore profile. What does this help me do? It now makes my page dynamic. in such a way that now it's just, if I refresh, it's just with the click of a button. So if I click on profile, you can see it has taken me to my profile. If I click on home, you can see it has taken me to my home. And it's as simple as that. It's interesting and pretty awesome, and it's pretty simple as well. And from here, you can decide to write different kinds of logic and you know um, uh, different types of logic. And oh yeah, one last thing. If you notice this, if I come to my file explorer, in my file explorer, this is my, remember, this is the Django project. I have application as home application. I have base application, the manage.py. If you remember our templates, you know what these are. Now you see this db.sqlite3. This is our database. I already have, so the reason why it's showing me that is because I already have, you can see it like a database. I already have um the SQLite database extension installed in my my text editor, my VS Code. I already have it. Okay, SQLite viewer, and that is why it is showing me. If I go to, you see it like a database. Now it's not showing me anything inside, and that is because you see this red. If I come to my terminal here, you have 18 unapplied migration. Your project may not work properly until you apply migration for apps, which is my application, um, migration for admin, authentication, content type, session, like that. These are just, with time you guys would get to know what these are. um I think I would explain it in a short while. So with time, you guys will get to know what this is, hopefully. And so always remember, okay, I think one key, anytime you want to create your database. I told you in the last one of these, I think I can't remember the parts, maybe part 11 or 12. I told you guys that our models, remember when we're discussing our models is is what we use to create um our database, the tables in our database. I think I remember saying that. And it is what interacts with the database, which is why I mentioned that Django is called ORM, because it does object relation mapping. It converts objects to databases, which is pretty awesome. So remember here I said our models interact with our database. So it's from the models you create your tables in your database, and from the models you'd have interaction with the database as well. So I just wanted to bring that out. So that being said, um anytime you add anything here, so in your project, if you create your Django project, the first thing you're supposed to do is to apply this migration. Then anytime you do any changes in your models.py, in your application folder, you always find models.py, views.py, admin.py, apps.py, test.py in your application. You won't find it here. You will not find it here in your project. You always find it in your applications folder. Now anytime you do any changes here, you actually need to make a migration. Now I'm going to teach us how to do that. And the other thing, from lesson learned, from personal lesson I've learned, don't you have to be extra sure what changes you are making before you make those changes. You have to think it through, which is why I think there's a design part of software engineering. You have to be deliberate. Yeah, don't make changes to things you are not ready to make changes to. So which is why you need to have a plan. You need to know what you are doing before you go ahead to do it. So in order for me to do my migrations, I will say py manage.py, and so I will say make migrations, and so no changes detected. Then I'm going to say py manage.py manage.py. I'm going to say migrate. So it's gonna, you see it do a lot of migrations, and you can see it applying migration. So if I go to my database base now, before it was empty, but now if I click on my database, you see some, you can see that it has migrated some tables inbuilt, like the authentication, the account, all of those things. And yeah, now you might be wondering, oh, so you can see it says apply um permission name max length, a lot of things. It has done a lot of migration. Now you don't really need to understand this. Now you just need to know that every time, if you first create your Django project, you are supposed to make migrations. It will enable table creation, some default table creation um, uh, happen from authentication. So a lot of things that has to do with security and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's really important you know that. Um, so um, yeah, so I think that's just what I wanted to bring to your notice. Now, let me see. Okay, in the next video, we will be talking about creating models or creating your database or your backend in the next class. Thank you very much.